The 7 Steps to a Successful Student series is brought to you by the Student Loan Finance Corporation and iHelp College Planning Services. For more information on preparing your student for college, please visit us at ihelploan.com. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for our 6th installment, our 6th step of 7 steps to a successful student. So let's continue talking about financial aid. It's a big topic. There's much more to cover. Let me get this off my chest, though. We always hear the term they. They will do this. They will do that. They will determine how much and what kind of financial aid that you are to receive. Ned, for once and for all, who they?
Who they? Indeed. I'd say 2 primary players there, including federal and state governments, I guess maybe 3, as well as the institution. So the institutions are charged by the federal government to administer federal programs. You are introduced to those through the FAFSA if you qualify. There may be state programs as well that match you up through the FAFSA program. Institutions themselves will often make grant assistance available, and they will be using institutional interests to figure out how they dole out their resources. Believe it or not, like families, most schools, the vast majority, have limited resources as well. So they are trying to make the best use of those resources and frankly spread it out across the pool of qualified students.
Is there a formula, however, that I can refer to give me an idea of what I could realistically expect for my financial aid needs?
What I would recommend is going to one of the FAFSA websites. You can do an estimated EFC, expected family contribution, which is a term you'll become familiar with. The other thing, by federal law, every institution now is required to make available to you a net price calculator. So you can go on there, fill out some information, financial information, some information about your work as a student, and you'll get some feedback pretty immediately of the range of aid and kind of aid that you should qualify for at that institution.
We hear EFC a lot. Quick elaboration on that.
Expected family contribution. It's another acronym in the alphabet soup that is federal aid applications, but it's a good one to know. It is a number that represents the ability of a particular family to absorb college costs in a given year.
But what if a family contribution just is not in the cards for you?
Many families will turn to what's called a plus loan situation to help bridge the gap between what the kind of grant and gift aid that is available to students and the amount of the family contribution that is required. So that would be probably the place families would turn to first. You would have the option of working with local lenders in that case.
So that bridges the gap, because that expected family contribution, if you do indeed have one, for many of us, it's just not going to go the distance. Let's talk about private loans. Now, that really sounds like something that could vary dramatically from lender to lender. Thoughts on that?
I think it would be good to review carefully your overall financial aid award, see where the stress points may be, where you're needing some extra resources.
Give me a visual on this financial aid package. Does it literally just show up in my mailbox? How do I get this?
It will vary from school to school, but often they share this information online, and you'll have to go through and you'll see the various kinds of aid that you've been selected for and qualify for. That will include any federal programs like the Pell Grant Assistance Program that you may be eligible for. It may include federal loan programs that you qualify for, institutional grant assistance, state programs. So there are myriad numbers, and they will all be lined out in the financial aid award, at which point then you will have to accept or decline each one of them.
So each school that accepts me to college will then in fact offer a different financial aid package?
Exactly, and you'll have to look at the particulars of each award.
All right, very good. Great question here. Do the federal aid programs differ depending on which school I choose as well?
Any particular need you have is tied to the cost of the particular school that you're considering. So you may have an expected contribution of family contribution of $10,000. If you were considering a community college, maybe that expected family contribution would cover the entire cost. If you're considering a more expensive option, then perhaps what would happen there is you take the college cost, say $20,000, and subtract the expected family contribution, and then the college will work to figure out that would be your eligible amount, that $10,000. So there would be, it could vary from school to school.
Okay, and region to region, how do we accurately gauge that true cost of attending a college or university, say from New York City to Danville, Kentucky, for example?
A great question. I would refer you first to the net price calculator that each school is required now to provide you. That would be a great way to start. You can get some good initial feedback, and those estimates are proving to be pretty accurate in terms of just general guidelines.
Very good. So I have that financial aid package in front of me. Can I double check that this is truly what I am eligible for?
Indeed, had that conversation with the financial aid officer you're working most closely with. These are federal programs, so I assure you that they will be administered equitably. And in terms of particular aid that is made available to you by the schools, those are awarded by school policy. So you could ask questions about that.
If you do disagree with how much the school thinks my family is willing or able to contribute, where do I go from there?
There's a process called special conditions, and that you'll get your full financial aid award based on the FAFSA information. If for some reason you feel like that form has not captured the reality of the family's financial situation, or heaven forbid there's been a medical emergency or someone's lost a job since you filed the FAFSA, you can amend that. You submit the special conditions to each individual school, and the admission professional is empowered by federal law then to make adjustments to that FAFSA on behalf of your situation at that particular school. So that would be the path that you would approach.
Could receiving a financial aid offer and then asking for more, is that perceived as ungrateful?
Well, increasingly folks are it's fair, I think, to ask. I will also tell you that most schools that I'm familiar with really go out with the most competitive award that they are able to afford at the time that they make that award. So it may never hurt to ask, but on the other, it's not like negotiating a car, the cost of a car. So as I say, it never hurts to ask, but I wouldn't put my eggs in that basket.
Any final tips perhaps you can offer for charting these waters?
Work the process. It is so important that you complete your end of the deal there, filing all the forms on time and completely and thoroughly, accurately. So that is the best advice I can give.
For more information on understanding your financial aid award package, please visit us at ihelploan.com or call 1-800-645-7404.